Well, Lord, my goodness, Stadia is back, and not only are they back, they are announcing today 7 pro games joining this upcoming month, which I think's the most ever, but also 2 new games have launched on the Stadia store today. 2 more new games are coming as well, and both of these games are pretty solid titles. We also have some excellent Stadia sales that I'll touch on, so we have lots to dive into. Make sure you guys are subscribed, as 46% of you still haven't subscribed to one of the largest cloud gaming and Stadia-centric channels on YouTube. So let's go ahead and dive straight into pretty much the most pro games ever launched in history for a single month on the platform, with 7 in total. And we'll go here one by one, as I'm familiar with all of these games, starting with the ones we did know about coming, and that is Life is Strange Remastered and Life is Strange Before the Storm Remastered. Now, these are heavily narrated titles, bringing you along a pretty emotional journey with highs and lows, and these are really some of the best story-rich titles ever made, where your choices in the game really matter to the overall story and how it plays out. Both of these are the newly remastered versions, so these are touched up, they look better visually with updated character models and rebuilt a new engine from the ground up. So these are easily the highlight of February's pro titles, and the rest of the titles here are Nanotales Typing Chronicles. This is an RPG that works really well with a keyboard and mouse as you type your way through the adventure, but I'm not sure how this game plays with a gamepad, so maybe someone in the comments can let us know how that works. Dogs is an excellent puzzle-filled adventure as you play a duo of dogs, great for the kids in the house, and a game that you can jump in single player or co-op. I'd even argue any age can really enjoy this one. Merrick's Market's a game that has you crafting and running a medieval shop, has tons of co-op fun potential, as well as certainly gets that inspiration from like Overcooked, and should be a fun one, as I'm really happy to see this one on Stadia Pro. Cosmic Star Heroines, a top-down RPG inspired by the classics, bringing in that 16-bit visual style. The game is very well loved, has hundreds of positive user reviews. It's from the makers of the Cthulhu Saves the World, so it's worth diving into if you're into the games that are inspired by the classics. And finally, One Hand Clapping, and this is unique as unique gets for a game. It's a vocal 2D platformer, so you'll be solving puzzles by singing into your microphone, which for me, I mean, I'd never beat this game as my character would plummet and die with my singing. So the game launched not too long ago off of early access and had several hundred very positive user reviews since, so don't sleep on this one. With that though, Stadia announced today that after this February, the pro lineup is going to feature 50 titles. So for those who have also been with Stadia Pro since the start, you're going to have 123 titles, which is amazing, by the way. Also, the games collectively had an average Metacritic score of 76.7, with 56 of those rated over 80. 1,300 hours to complete all the main stories in the game, and an estimated MSRP of almost $3,300. So Stadia Pro has certainly been rocking it over the years, and it has definitely grown a lot from just a handful of games to what I've always envisioned, and that is now like a little mini Netflix with 50 titles. So kudos goes to Google and Stadia for all that information and all these games. Finally, guys, Dirt 5 and Moto GP 20 are leaving Stadia Pro on February 1st, so make sure you guys claim those games if you haven't already. With that, we're going to dive into the new games that have launched today on the Stadia store, and yes, we have a pair of outright games, starting with Fast and the Furious Spy Racers Rise of Shifter. Here you're going to play as Tony Toretto in a bid to stop the Shifter from winning the ultimate high-tech vehicle. This is a cool one because the cars are going to have spy gadgets, boost for your cars, and it's different than the other outright racing titles that are definitely a little more kiddie than this one, though this is still great for all ages. There's also a couch co-op here and the ability to play online. It says with 5 other people, so 6 in total. Looks like a fun title, but it doesn't have a lot of reviews, so I don't know if this is any good or not. Then we have Troll Hunters Defenders of Arcadia. This is a 2D title that has you on an adventure to, you know, like always, save the universe. It does feature couch co-op, and you can upgrade your armor and boost your abilities. This one looks like a pretty simple title meant to really incorporate a little adventure with potentially some young ones, or if you're a fan of the franchise and you want to just dive into it because of that. But both of these games are on the Stadia store right now to purchase. We also got some game announcements, or at least one game announced, and another accidentally was let out of the bag. First game officially announced is Moto GP 21 will come on February 1st, and people who were wondering if this was ever coming for Stadia, well, it looks like maybe it was just delayed, and it is coming now. So if you're a fan of the series, Hopefully you'll be happy with this one. I personally played GP20. I sucked at it. It was a hard game, so we'll see how this one pans out. The game that I think was not meant to be announced just yet here is My Hero One's Justice 2 by Bandai Namco. It's an over-the-top 3D arena fighter. This was on the graphic today on the Stadia Twitter, which tells me this game is probably going to launch here in the next few weeks, maybe pretty soon. Again, I mean, this game looks fantastic, and I know people have wanted more fighters. This is a 3D arena fighter. It has around 1,700 very positive user reviews, comes in with a decent Metacritic score as well, so should be a fun one when it releases, and I'm personally actually looking forward to it. Finally, guys, we have a host of essentially Ubisoft sales, so I'm not going to go deeply as I usually do with all these sales here, but we also have a couple of games that are not Ubisoft, so bear with me. But immediately the Assassin's Creed franchise are all on sale, but Valhalla comes in at $23.99, and I think that's just a great deal. Also, the Far Cry franchise, including the latest Far Cry 6, is also on sale. Immortals Phoenix Rising's just $20. Riders Republic, also a game that's only some months old, is at $35.99. The Crew 2 is at $10. Uno is at dirt cheap at $3.99, and I think this is an awesome family game. Finally, The Division 2 is $8.99, and I think this is, if not the very best Stadia port, because it has 4K 60 FPS, Stream Connect, and crossplay. There's also a ton of other Ubisoft sales here that I think are excellent, but if you don't have Ubisoft Plus, definitely check them out. But my sale of the week is absolutely the Resident Evil franchise. Resident Evil 7's coming in at $19.99. Then we have a Resident Evil Village, one of the best Stadia games that dropped in 2021. It comes in at $29.99. So there you have it, guys. This has been a great week here for Stadia with tons of pro games, new releases, and more games to look forward to, and also great sales. Let me know your thoughts on all the news today. With that, guys, I'm Sunny, and as always, I'll see you guys in the clouds.